This way. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. We are back with the Ted Show. Looks like I'm in jail. I don't know what's going on. We are at the Old Jailhouse in Sanford. I'm with my dear friend Mike Yebba, who is a realtor guru. He's got a great background. I just learned he was a teacher too. I don't know what's happening in my world, but I'm very excited to be here. We're going to bring Barry on, who is the head chef here in just a bit. But before we do that, let's welcome Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm so good. This tour of Sanford has been amazing, and we could not have done it without your help, and we certainly would not have wanted to miss out on this fantastic location called the Old Jailhouse. So before we take a deep dive there, tell them a little bit about you.
Well, my name is Mike Yebba. I'm a realtor with Mainframe Real Estate down in downtown Orlando.
We love Mainframe.
Love Mainframe. I was resident of Sanford for 14 or 15 years. I currently reside in Winter Park. However, I am in Sanford every day to the point of where people think of me as the Sanford guy.
Nice. The Sanford guy's good.
The Sanford guy's a great thing. Sanford has so many great things about it between its historic preservation, all the great breweries and restaurants that we have here, and all the things to do that are very unique and not typically what you get in a standard city like, no offense to Orlando, but we've got some really unique
No, we
stuff.
don't have anything like this. So it's called the Old Jailhouse. You can kind of see the bars.
Yep.
So talk about the history of this building and then tell us a little bit about this actual amazing restaurant and craft cocktail place.
So it's really cool. You're actually sitting and dining in history. Some of the bars in this restaurant are actual original bars from when it served as the Seminole County Jail. Seminole County was incorporated in 1913, and about a year later, they incorporated this building, which at one point also served as a livery, and made it into the Seminole County Jail. So it covered, Oviedo and all of Seminole County, as well as Sanford. And we tried keeping true to the historical integrity of the building by making sure that the booking room remained the booking room. Visitation did remain visitation, so on and so forth, with very few embellishments here and there.
It's actually beautiful. You all have to come out here. But it's not just the spectacle of looking at the Old Jailhouse. I can tell you firsthand, because Mike and I are imbibing right now, their craft cocktails are amazing. But honestly, the Old Jailhouse is known for their food. The food has an amazing reputation. So talk about the concept of the food, because you've been part of it. You have family that are part of the Old Jailhouse. Tell us about the concept of the food. What did you want to bring when you created the Old Jailhouse?
Not to say, fine dining, although it is very much fine dining, but it's polished casual. You can still come in here and feel like you're not having to necessarily wear a suit. But it's a little bit more polished than your standard, Chili's or anything of that nature. Again, no offense, Chili's. Sorry if I know Chili's.
We love you,
watching.
Chili's. It's fine.
But it's much more polished. It is a chef-cultivated menu, and one of our biggest selling points is that we are a scratch kitchen. So everything that you see on the menu today might not be what's here next week, based on seasonal availability and everything like that. And like I said, it's all chef-inspired, so everything's already paired with certain, food flavor components to make sure it's giving you the most well-rounded, delicious meal possible.
I can't wait to try some of the food, which I will. We're going to bring Barry on in a minute. But before we do, tell them a little bit about why you love Sanford, and then talk about how the market is out in this area, because I think people really want to know. It's a crazy world out there in real estate. We're all experiencing it if you're in the industry. So tell them about this market in particular.
I'm sure you've heard it time and time again today. The market's hot, universally pretty much in the state of Florida. However, Sanford is very unique in that through its efforts over the past 15, maybe even closer to 20 years with historic preservation, we've really brought new livelihood into this community. And it's just, it's night and day between what used to be here 15, 20 years ago to now. And now Sanford's one of the hottest commodities and one of the best kept secrets in Central Florida. You hear about Sanford and some people are like, God, I wish I could live in Sanford. I wish I could live in Sanford. And I'm looking back thinking to myself, wow, 15 years ago.
You didn't want to say you had a Sanford zip code back in the day.
Right?
You said you lived in Lake Mary. just telling the truth. That's how it was. But it's completely different. The downtown has been revitalized. There are so many amazing businesses, which we've already visited 3 or 4 now, and we haven't even touched or scratched the surface of what's going on here in Sanford. Why do you like it? What do you love about the community?
It's a small community. I mean, have you ever seen that movie,
We're ready
Alabama?
For you. Yes, I love that.
Okay, you know the scene where they all have the carnival and everyone kind of knows each other?
Yes,
that's
Sanford.
Is Sanford. Really, you can walk down the street and you're going to bump into 5 people that you know. It's a very small town with a lot of character. I think that the character really drives a lot of people here. And quite frankly, I think that we are the personification of what places like Baldwin Park would like to be.
Agreed. All right, so Mike Yebba with Mainframe Realty, also part of TheOldJailHouseSanford.com. He's amazing. He helped set this up. Thank you. And we want to bring in the chef. This is what happens on live TV, quote unquote. My kids are going to die. Come on in, Barry. Barry, pronounce your last name because you know I'm bad at it.
Czekaj.
Again, this is Barry C. He is the guru here as far as the food's concerned. I've known Barry for a very long time. He's an amazing chef. He and his wife both are. Welcome to the show. So tell us a little bit about what's going on here at the Old Jailhouse, because the food is actually really well known. People know about the quality of the food and the fact that it is top notch.
Oh, good.
You're excited to hear that, aren't you?
No, I'm excited. I do what I do, but I'm glad that people are taking it very well. And people always ask, like, well, what kind of food are you doing? It's Southern inspired, but at the same time, like, I like to kind of mix it up a little bit and kind of think of things that are more well known to people, taking maybe an older thing and maybe modernizing it, and just things that people are familiar with. And it's gone very well so far doing that.
Tell us about some of your dishes. What's something you brought here that you're so excited, or when people come in, they ask for a specific thing? You change it all the time. It's a scratch kitchen. So talk a little bit about how that menu kind of fluctuates and maybe some of the favorite kinds of ingredients that you bring in.
Well, like I said, it fluctuates. I try to keep it somewhat seasonal. Obviously, I don't want to have anything too crazy heavy or anything. It's getting hot now, really hot.
I'm sweating, y'all, just for the record.
It is a little bit. It gets warm in here sometimes. But what I have a gnocchi dish. The gnocchi thing kind of carried over from the last restaurant I was at, and I liked it there. And it was always a good seller. We could always change it up and play with it like that. It's always been right now it's a vegetarian option. It's kind of a truffle corn kind of cream thing, and it's people are loving it. But yeah, that's no matter how we change it. I mean, it always sells good. People seem to enjoy it. We have a steak, we have pork chop dish, stuff like, and then we just try to keep the size. Like I said, it's kind of seasonal. If it's really hot out, maybe I'll go back to the chimichurri for the steak.
Nice.
Because
you really think through the menu. Yeah. You really plan it seasonal wise, especially since you're a scratch kitchen. Tell people how difficult that can be sometimes on a scratch kitchen, because you are constantly at the mercy of whatever's going on out in the farmer's market or the farmers. You've got to figure out how to use the most fresh ingredients, and they could be different each time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it just depends what's available, and when you're doing things from scratch, it's a lot of prep. Yeah. A lot of prep. Sometimes it's funny because sometimes people come get something like, well, this is really good. Where'd you buy it from? Like, no, we made it. Like, well,
nobody believes
you
it,
bought
right?
this, but not that. Like, no. We got the ingredients and we make it we're a scratch kitchen.
I love it.
And that's the only way we could do it.
All right. So what's the best way for them to reach out, find out more about the Old Jailhouse? I've got the website scrolling across the bottom, TheOldJailHouseSanford.com. You're also on social media, right?
Yep, on Facebook, and we're also on Instagram. We have a great promotional company we work with that takes great pictures of the food, makes it look even better than it is, and I think that's amazing. But I would just say, come on down to Sanford. There's so much stuff going on down here. It's really booming lately. People are really coming out here a lot and really talking a lot about it. And just come take a stroll around. Then when you see the Old Jailhouse, come on in and have one of our amazing drinks, created by Nick, our bartender, and try some of the food. And there you go.
It's delicious. It's the OBOF, right? Mike, oh my God, it's an old fashioned with orange blossom in it. The smoothest old fashioned I think I've ever had. You're a joy. I appreciate you and Amanda so much. Thank you, Mike Yebba. Come out to the Old Jailhouse here in Sanford. You can go to TheOldJailHouseSanford.com and check it out, or on social media, which we've tagged. You want to support local. This is a local business. It's beautiful. The location is unique. The architecture is unique. It's actually an old jailhouse. They didn't just make it that way. This is what it was. So come out and sample some of the amazing food that Barry prepares and the cocktails that Nick prepares. Go to the TheOldJailHouseSanford.com. Thanks, Barry. Thanks to Mike. We love you guys. We love Sanford. We'll be back soon.